Good morning, Sean. Altiyab. How are you guys? Hey, you guys can hear me very well, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah,
All
Sean
right.
is on. I'm using his laptop.
Your voice is kind of like you sounds like you're talking a little far from where you
Oh,
are.
is it better now?
Yeah, a little bit. So
All right.
today we're not gonna do a longer session. Actually, I had to leave at 12:30. But the focus is to cover and give you in-depth understanding of what is web service testing. So you will get a full understanding of what exactly the web service testing, as far as like in terms of as a test automation engineer, you should be able to actually tell the interviewer and also be able to perform any task given to you. It's a simple thing, but you still need to know if you have never done the web service, what it is and how to perform web service testing. And there are, many things we can do as part of web service. We can do an automation framework and, very high level automation framework, but it depends on, where you're working on. But for those of you who are, studying the SDET, software development and test engineering, you will be more likely dealing with the automation of web-based applications. But apart on the side, you may be encountering like they will ask you to do some web service testing. So we'll be showing you the introductory part and how you can actually enhance the knowledge and learn from there. So the first thing I'm going to give like maybe another 2 3 minutes to a few other folks to join, then we can get started. Like 10 of 5, we'll start. All right, let's get started. You all can hear me and see my screen, right? Can you confirm if you actually see my screen?
Assalamu alaikum. Yes,
Walaikum
we can
assalam,
see.
assalamu alaikum. Okay, good. All right, so as I was talking, I will be uh, doing this web service testing introductory, and basically this is the only class we'll be doing, and we'll be doing until 12:30 p.m. today. If you need any break in between, let me know. Other than that, I won't probably take any break and continue until the end. It's a simple task. I just want to make sure you all understand what is web service and how to actually start web service testing if you actually in a real work environment, if you start working and someone asks you to do that, you you can actually able to do it. It's a simple way of doing so. I'm just gonna go through step by step. So first thing, I'm actually want to know what is actual web service, right? Web service is a communicating between two applications or machines that exchange data. So basically, the technology like nowadays, like if we are sending a text message to one person to another, let's say I'm using a T-Mobile and another person and user using some other telephone, right? And they have to kind of communicate and get a data from one end to another. So if I send a text message to Selena and Selena using uh, some other career. So what the web service does is send the uh, data in a way so that the other application can receive the yes, the class is recording, so yeah, don't worry about it. And if you just joined, please yeah, it's been recording, and you should be getting the recording at the end of the session. Make sure you stay until 12:30. We'll be covering a lot today, and that will help you to study further if you need to. As I was speaking, web service is the communication between two applications. So what I was explaining, the just example of how the text message actually happening or email communication. We send an email, it gets into some format of data as an XML or whatever the format it goes with, and then it's sent to the end user, and then they open that document and you see that email or the text message. So the communication is between that done is via web service, either some sort of protocol that's been done. So that is the high level of web service definition. Another example I would give, like we all go to the application, like, you know, the let's say I'm going to the Orbitz, right? Orbitz apps, which, you know, many of you are familiar with that. It's an application that allow us to book airline ticket, hotel, vacation, rental car, and all these things, right? So if we say, like, I want to go from Dallas, right, Dallas airport to, let's say I'm going to JFK, right? And we select some dates, you know, and then whatever, I'm just leaving as it is. As soon as we click on the button source, right, it's gonna, what it does, it sends the information to all the airlines, because the Orbitz itself is an application, but they have to kind of communicate with the application, other application, United Airlines, American Airlines, or you know, Delta, and all kinds of airlines. So they have to kind of get the response from those airlines, or hotel, like, you know, the hotels. And let me go back, I think I just selected only one. So anything you select, let's say hotel, airlines, and car, right? We selected that, and so it's going to send the request to the hotel, car, and the airlines company, whatever the company they are integrated with the Orbitz, you know, application. So they say, okay, hey, my user is looking for a rental of these three, and they put it into a package and send it to all these people, all these company in their end. So there is some media that's web service, and as soon as they receive whatever the information, they do the query on their end. So the American Airlines look into their server saying, okay, we have a available date. Okay, this is the price, and all the price information, date, and when the flight is available, or the hotel room when it's available, or the rental car, it's sent it to rental enterprise, or, you know, the other, you know, rental car company, and they all send some sort of their response back to the Orbitz, and that's how we see this the hotel, and then all the other information that we need. So this is how they're communicating. It's a media that allow us to get response from the other end. So it's a communication happening between two applications. They may not be built in a same language or same technology, but there is some sort of media that allow us to get, you know, communication between two. So for example, like in human nature, if I speak English and another person speaks, you know, different language, or Arabic or Chinese, right? Nowadays we have a app, you know, you can convert the language, and, you know, then they can understand what it is. But the tool also there to convert the language. So it's a media that allow us to convert the message and be able to read by the other end and give you the response that you understand. So it's just a communication media. I hope you got that. If you did not get, let me know. This is the basic of the web service. I have more, you know, definition in the shared folder. You can take a look at it. Let's go over some of those, but stop me if you're confused about anything. So why a website is needed, as I discussed, we need to get communication between two services. And the web service communication happens using the SOAP or REST protocol. Like web service can be called by application software using SOAP or HTTP protocol. SOAP is a simple object access protocol, and the REST is representational state transfer architecture. So it's the media, the protocol they use to send and receive the response. And then there is something called WSDL, Web Service Descriptive Language. It's an XML-based language. So XML is it's a language that can be sent from one end to another, and it's a universal. Nowadays, every application can read XML message and then send the response back to the user. So, and why web service testing? Because the web service testing you need, like as we did the automation testing for the those applications, Google, the flight reservation, and a few other applications that we have done. We went through Amazon. We do test the front end, the GUI part, but the web service is like a back end kind of testing, but it's not a back end. It has no GUI. It just makes sure the data is, sending and receiving correctly. So if you are looking for, okay, I'm looking for, I say, hey, Hafiz, I need a car with the color blue, and it has to have a 4-wheel drive, and the engine is 4-cylinder, and it has to have automatic and manual and so on and so forth. And then you tell me, okay, we have it or we don't have it. I mean, there is something. When I say it, as if Hafiz is another machine talking to me, I'm also a machine. And if I say this, if Hafiz doesn't have anything that I require, he's gonna send a response saying nothing found, or no match found, or no similar car was found, or we found this but not that color, something like that. So that's a commitment between one application to another application. It has to be a contract. So in real-time environment, let's go back to the Bank of America example we did in the classroom. So when you send a money, you all actually use something called Zelle, right? So let's say Bank of America has, I think they have the. I'm going to start installing the tools that give you a better example how actually it happens. So, for example, this is the Zelle is the app that allows the Bank of America or any bank to transfer money from one bank to another, right? And this is the media they use. So what happened, Bank of America, let's say, I want to send money to a Omid, and he has only Chase Bank, right? He's not using a Bank of America. So in order for me to send the money, I have to use some sort of media. So I use Bank of America, and Bank of America has a contract with Zelle. And so Zelle, then the contract is the agreement saying, okay, we are using your service to send the money from my account to another, our customer, so they can send the money to Chase Bank or any other bank or any bank in the world, right? They can send to anywhere. And the contract that has to be done ahead of time. So the development team or the architecture, they have some sort of binding saying, okay, if the user send $500 to user 2, then it should send the money. So what it does, when you select the amount and then you click on send, it looks for the amount, the available balance in your account. If you have an account balance is less than 500, it throw an error saying you don't have the money. If you have enough money, it will allow you to send. And then as soon as you send, it goes to the other account, right? Account B, Chase Bank, at Amit's account. And then Amit see the amount, $500 received. And the bank receive a response and then deduct $500 from my account and add $500 to his account. So that's in the back end it's happening, but you can see that front end part. So when we do the web service testing, we send a XML request and then to the Chase Bank, and Chase Bank reply back, okay, we received $500, and here is the delivery response or the signature that tells, okay, the transaction was successful. So that's in real time is happening, those applications. It's a third-party application that or any application within the organization. It doesn't have to be third-party. It's just the media that communicate one application or one service to another. So that's the whole idea of the web service. So you can go through this definition here, and they all can be found in the, if you go to your folder, CV_student, and if you go to this project, class notes, basically class note, and there is something called web service testing, right? And here you will find this document. So I was looking at the other document and the functional testing of web service, why we are getting more and more web service. Nowadays, the more technology is building up, they want to do more testing. So they want to make sure the communication are happening correctly, data are sending and receiving are accurately happening. If not, there is a bug, and you actually open a TPR or defect if there is an issue with the service. And the web services have no GUI, as I mentioned. Typically, this type of application is testing is performed by developer or a test engineer, right? And most of the environment I have seen, like the developer actually do their testing because it's a simple test. You don't need a whole lot of expertise unless you are a developer for the web service and you want to build a automation framework for web service. Anyone can actually perform automation in just for web service if like you guys are learning Java and Selenium. So you at some point when you actually learn the Selenium framework, you should be able to create a framework for web service as well. These are just the XML format passes and sending from one end to another and get the response back. And then implementing the web services in almost all projects nowadays. And why web service is so special? Because as the testing is needed, web service testing is also one of the required, and it's very growing field. Most company, when they hire a test engineer, they want to know if you have some sort of expertise in web service testing. What is web services, what is SOAP is, what is WSDL protocol, so and the REST protocol. All these are just a common definition, but it's just the media WSDL. They might ask you what is WSDL. So you just have to say web service description language is an XML based language which is used to describe the services by. So basically, when you open the WSDL, I have a definition here at the end somewhere. Okay, so you will be, when you start working, let's say if someone asks you to do a testing on this application, so you get a WSDL, which is the XML type language, and these are the data type they send. So you want to explain that, okay, these are the data that should be passed from one end to another and should be able to convert and get the response back. We'll come to that point in a moment when we install the tools. And so you guys understood what is web service so far, right? And these are just the basics of so web service are simple interface using HTTP protocol and can be developed by one company, used by another company, as I mentioned. If you have web service, it shares, like Delta Airlines communicates with many other companies so out there via web service, HTTP protocol, and same goes for the hosting part also can be done in vice versa. All right, so I want you all to go to a Smart Bear. I'm going to send you the link right now and start installing the tool, and then we will get a better understanding of what we do. So you all can open this document and access. You have access to this. So if you go to at the end of the tools, here is Smart Bear tools, and this is the document you want to. Okay, I have to open it. All right, so let me give you the link here. All right, so click on that. I want you all, I'm going to do the same. Click on that link, and we will, if our time permits, we'll try the pro version. So there are many tools out there, right? I mean, in the document I mentioned a couple of those. You can develop web service test in any tools like out there. The using whatever language you prefer, Java, Perl, Python, Ruby, Groovy, or any language that is comfortable with you. You can always do that. But the tools that we are using, it use the Groovy. So in the back end you'll see, but we're not going to go to that part in depth. But for our testing purpose, what you need to know is this is the SOAP UI by Smart Bear, and we're going to use the open source. And if time allow us to do that, then we will try to use the Pro. Pro only gives, I think, 14 days, and it's a licensed, it's paid version, and you can do a lot more transaction, and pretty much you can build a framework out of this Pro version. But once you know the concept, you can actually do a whole lot. So these are the free version. Allow us to do the functional testing, REST API testing. It also do the REST refactoring. So reporting is not available in the free version, but in the pro version it is available, and you don't have a lot of support. If you encounter any issue, like in real time, you must most likely encountering like setting up the license or SS license or certificate. Those are the support we will be getting from the pro version, not for the free version. Free version, you have to do your own research kind of thing and then find out. But most company, whoever using, if they want to do it in-depth service test, they will be providing a pro license. In my case, I have a pro license, so I use that at my work sometimes when I need to. But open source is the one you can get started and get familiar and build a framework out of this by using Eclipse IDE. And if you want to learn more, everything is available in this site. They have all these learning tools, tutorials. You can get through all this. But let's get started. So click on this link, get it. And once you click on it, it's going to start downloading the SOAP UI. I think I had it download. You don't have to fill up any of this for free version. It's a free, they don't do. And it also have it video you can watch. They have a 2-3 minutes simple video. You can take a look at it. All right, so once you have it downloaded, open it up and start installing. Any questions so far? You all are clear, okay. I think it's almost done. Once it's done, okay, just double click on that when it's done. Okay, so it's opening up for me. Okay, so if you want to test it out, like the you need the URL to test it, right? It's not a same URL like going like www.gmail. It's not that. So for the web service, we need the WSDL, SDL that we mentioned. Uh, No, for as far as the services, what test services you're testing, the when you're testing any services, you will be given a endpoint, and they will provide all the architecture and how to test it. So if we want to do a Gmail or the Yahoo, there is maybe a testing wisdom for us to test. I think we can find and what services are available by looking at the WSDL file. We can actually uh, tell. Just follow the license agreement to yes, and then click next. Next, just default setup and uh, click next. It's just a simple installation for the free SoapUI 5.4.0. So going back to the Altia, your question, yeah, the services will be provided in real environment. Uh, this is web service testing. How do you know what is the Gmail servers are? And yeah, you don't need to know the server. If you know the architecture or design document of the application, so you know that already. But for the Gmail and Yahoo, I mean, we don't know. There are many servers and what services they provide. We know the services. So Gmail provides, yeah, Google provides many services. So it depends on what service we want to test it. If we want to test it, let's say the Drive, Google Drive, we want to send a request of, maybe to make sure, okay, document is created, the videos, or in the Google Drive, you can save the folders and videos or share any document, be able to do all these tasks. Then these are the testing that will be done, sending by XML, and the response will come back. But for the servers, so we don't know for this free or whatever the outside, unless we work in there and know it. They have okay, do you want to, I have a jar file already there. You can say yes to all. If you already have it, you don't have to, but for me, I'm just saying no to all because I already have those. And you don't need the release notes. Just click run and finish. It will start running it. Altaya, did it answer your question? I mean, was it, or you want to know more? Okay. So you all are in this page. This is the tool, right? This is the SoapUI 5.4.0. This is the free version, and I will try to show you the pro version later after we do this one at the same time before time ends. Let me know who doesn't have. So when you have the installation and it runs, it has like some file, project, suite, test case, and all this setup. And so as I send the link, click on that, download. It doesn't take more than 5 minutes to download and install. So you should have it, I'm assuming. Let me know who don't. I mean, if you don't have, let me know. Okay, I hear Altayab has it. Anyone else who don't? Okay. Amit, did you? Sean? Tasneem?
I'm not using my laptop today, so I'll do it when I get home.
Tasneem, you have that installed? Good. Selena?
I'm actually installing now. I stepped out for a few minutes.
Okay, I'll move on to the next one when everyone
Sure.
confirms
Yeah,
they
that's
have
fine.
it. Yeah, I'll wait for you. Mohammed, were you able to install? So all you have to go to the where is it? Here, and then let's go back previous, and then get it this one, because once we try this, we will try also this one. All right, so I think Hafiz has the okay. Good. Who doesn't? Go Johor, you have it. Johor, Aulad. And hello. Okay, so once you have it, you can click on File, New SOAP, SOAP, SOAP project. Click on that, and then give a name to a test, right? The test project one, right? And the WSDL file, you might be, in your case, let's say, the team will provide you the WSDL file. Every time you work on a place, if they don't provide you the WSDL file, the web service definition language file, then you have to ask for this. You have to have, or you can say endpoint, or just say WSD. I need the WSDL file to initiate the project. So once you do that, either they will provide you the IP address or the URL itself or the location where it is. So if they send you the location, you just have to locate where it is. If not, they will give you the URL. So in our case, like if we go back to the this document, I have some sample that I collected from online. You can always search for Google the sample WSDL file for Gmail or any others. I mean, you'll find something. So here I have one for the web service. This is for number conversion, and the other one is country info service. So these are the two I'm using right now. If I find some other, I will show you those as well. So let's just use this one, right? Let's go. These are all definition of the what are they, like how to, so mention about the HTTP service means request and response. Web service is a stateless protocol. We send requests and we receive a response. We are finished. This is basically the whole thing. And then you can read through, and it's basically I create this document. Pretty much tells everything you need to know. You don't need to know the like XML itself. It's very easy. You know the tags are created in this manner. You have a opening tag and the closing tag, and then the value is right there. So in the GUI, like if I had something here, date of birth, right? In the front end would see the graphical user interface, but when we send the request, we send it this way and we receive the similar way, and it converted into the web page as a GUI, right? So let's provide this URL here, and so we copy that URL and paste it. So I'm going to post it to the, I think, in the chat window, so you can actually use that. So, oh, all three of us is already done. Very good, thank you. So use that, and you can also access this document here. All right. So once you do that, there are a few things you can select. Create request, create a simple sample request, which will bring all the operations. So operations means like, okay, remember in the GUI, we have a username, password, and then we can provide the form with a last name, first name, all kinds of information in the front end, right? So like in the application, like let's say we went to the site of Boolean, right? We say login. So we have a username and password. That's how in the front end it looks. In the back end, it's actually this like XML format. You provide the value, and those are the operations like a field and all the fields in the application. And you can create a sample test suite, or you can leave it blank. Let's click on create a test suite. So test suite is the hierarchy. Like let's say, let me see if I can draw. So we have a, let's say we have a test suite, right? Test suite, right? In the test suite, we have different test cases here, right? Test case 1, test case 2, and then inside test case 1, inside test case 1, we have different test steps here, and then test steps. So you have test steps 1, 2, and same thing goes for the other 1, 2, many test steps. So the way we design the test cases, test suite in the manual test or the automation test is a similar concept. So we can do, it's the same logic, creating a test suite and test case, and click on OK. Once you click on OK, it will give you a couple of options, right? And it gives you the create one test cases for each operation. So these are the operations, right? If you see the number to dollar, number to words, these are like a operation. You can create, each test cases for each one of them, or you can leave it as it is. One test case for each operation. We can create, and then existing request, don't need to create a new empty request. And the operations are two of them, number to dollar, number to word. So if I go to Google, right, and I say convert number to dollar, right, I'm sure it's gonna have something. Okay, convert, I think number to words. Okay, I think this is the one I can use. Okay, so like this, if I say 5, I believe it should do. Okay, so 4, it should convert to the number to text. So 1, 2, so If I say 2, it's going to convert to Word 2. If I say 3, it's going to convert Word to 3, something like that. So it's like entering the data is in the GUI front end versus entering in an XML document. So we'll have that in a moment. So create and then click on OK and enter the name of the test suite. So you can rename the test suite. So let's say test suite 1. Just rename that or name it as you can, whatever it is. And then test suite 2. This is for the second one, right? See, it changed. We have a project, and under the project, we have a test suite 1, test suite 2. These first two, it came by default, right? The first one we created is the same thing, right? It's basically the same. We can either delete this or leave it as it is. Okay, so let's concentrate on test suite 1. And then we click on that test case. Nothing in there, right? And then we expand the test cases number of times. This is the SOAP request we have. So double click on that number of dollars. Okay, okay, you're asking how did I get the test suite again? So let's. I'm just gonna remove this. Okay, remove. I think there is something called remove, and yes, to remove. Yeah, save it. Okay, so let's start. Okay, we are creating a new project. Create a new SOAP project, right? Or create an empty project, whichever you prefer. Then you can add to it. And the test project is a test project 1, right? And then we have to provide this WSDL file, right? And we copy that WSDL, create a sample request for all operations, create a test suite for imported WSDL file. So the test suite are like a hierarchy. So let's say you have a test case, as I explained, you have 5 test cases, and you want to put it into a one bucket called test suite 1. And let me do this way so you probably have a better understanding. Okay. So we have a test suite 1, 2, 3. Let's say test suite 1. How can I do it? Okay. 1. We have 3 test suites, right? Test suite 1, test suite 2, test suite 3, right? In test suite, we might have multiple test cases, right? And same thing goes for the other. You might have a multiple test case. So test case 1, test case 2, test case 3. Same thing for the other. And inside a test case, we can have multiple test steps, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So for example, the test suite is, say, okay, Google application or Google Drive test, Google Drive, right? And in the Google Drive test, I have a test case. User should be able to log into Google Drive, right? That is my test case. So test suite is a Google Drive itself, and inside a test suite, I have a test case. User should be able to log into Google Drive. So that test case can break into a couple of test steps. User has to open the browser, go to the Google URL, and then provide a user credential, username and password, and click on login. That's the first test cases. And then you can have the second test case where you say, okay, user should be open a Word document. And in order to open a Word document, he has to go to that, create a Word document and same steps like login, and then open a Word document, be able to type in there and save the document. And third test case, you can have a user should be able to create a PowerPoint document in the Google Drive. This is, let's say, this is called Google Drive test suite, and test case would be the login, and the second test case would be the Word document, and third test case is PowerPoint, right? And same thing for the test suite tools. Let's say you say Facebook, right? Or something else. Let's say we're not saying Google Drive, we say Google Gmail only, or Gmail. So these are like a high level, like hierarchy. In one test suite, you have multiple test cases. In one test cases, you can have multiple test steps. Also, all this test suite can go into under one project, right? So you can have it in one project, and in one project you can have multiple test suites, and then you can move this project to, let's say you have a workspace. You can have multiple projects in one workspace. In your workspace, you can have 100 projects. Let's say inside 100 projects, you can have multiple test suites and multiple test cases and multiple test steps. It depends on how it goes. Does it make sense also here? Anyone who is not clear about this, let me know. Okay, great. All right, so we are going back again, creating the test request, creating a request for all operations, and then creating a test suite for the specified WSDL file, right? And then I'm just leaving as it is, creating a test case for, or you can have it test just a single one, however way you want, right? And okay, just cancel this and leave it as it is. Okay. All right. So we have a project and we have a test suite, right? This is our test suite, and inside our test suite, this is our test case one, and this is our test steps. Don't pay attention. This is the one when I selected the other one, it's just the same one. It got created and the request in there. So if we go back to the project one, right, and then inside project one, I have a test case, right, and then it has a request. It didn't create this test suite. So in order for me to create a test suite, I had to create it here. And then I have a test case. It's saying it's a test case, and this is the test suite. Remember the icon. I think if you move the cursor, it should tell you that also. Okay, inside the steps, you can have the request and all these security and load. Those are like if you are doing a security testing or load testing, these can be implemented. Just focus on these right now. So if you click on number to dollar, right, and this is the XML binding here, XML file it's got created, and where it's a question mark, this is where you're passing the data. So you have the hierarchy of the SOAP envelope, and it has a header and it has a body, and then the operation is saying number to dollar, right? And all you have to do is provide a number. Let's say I provide 10 here, right? And once I click on run, I should get a response. So this is my request and this is my response. So it's saying $10. The response came. So this test is passed, right? And look at the XML. And if you want to say raw data, this is how the raw data, it send a post and it should get a get method here, $10 here. So what is happening is here is, as we explained before, it's sending a request to a server, a dedicated server, which they use, and saying, okay, if I want to convert 10 to a text, and the server actually received that message saying, okay, the user is asking to convert the the numeric number 10 to convert it to the text message, and then server responds back, okay, we have that in our server. I mean, we have that, message. We can accept it and reply back, okay, hey, you are asking for $10 in a text. Here is it. So this is on the right is request, on the left is request, on the right is a response. So it's like I send a text message to you, and when the text message is delivered, I see on my iPhone, okay, the text message is delivered. And in some text messages, if you have a return received on, I should be able to see as soon as you open the text message, I should be able to see, okay, you read my message. So it should give you that also. So this is like a request and response came in the back end, so in this case. Okay, now you want to try, you can try multiple, like let's say you want to try $50. Let's say a bigger number. What does it do? It's converting 80,000. So it's working. But there are, like, how do you actually verify if it's working or not? So we have to use something called verification or assertion. And I think you can apply it right here, like right mouse click on the request response, the request you send, and you can actually validate also here. And if you right mouse click, you can also do that. And there are something called assertion. You have to code it to do that, but in the pro version, it allows you to do that. So when we do the pro, we should be able to see it. So in general, if you are working on any environment, you should be able to familiar with this tool, little bit of this, okay, I use the SOAP UI for web service testing, and using XML format request, I send a request and then I get the response back. But in order for me to successfully test the application, I use WSDL, the web service definition language, to get the connectivity with the server. So the web service, that WSDLC file that we use, that is the actually saying, okay, there is a connection between the tools to the server. It's got connected, so it is a valid. So when we actually create a new project, right, and let's say I'm using something wrong here, like say I say I just move some text here, right, and if I click on OK, it should send me an error, right? You see that error message? It's saying error loading WSD. So that means the connectivity of the server. The server is not responding, or there is a error in the WSDLC SDL file. So it's the same thing. Like if you go to let's say you say, okay, Google, right? If I say instead of google.com, right, it's like the same thing like a URL. If I say something wrong in the URL, it should take me somewhere else or give me a 400 one error, or service is not available, or something like that. The first part you want to do, make sure the URL is active, the health of the application is available to you, and if it's not available, you will be getting an error. See that? As soon as I type something wrong, it gave me site cannot be reached. It's the same thing happening right here. I had the wrong URL, so I get the exception error. And if you do get it, there is a number of things you could think of. All the answers are available in the SOAP UI website, or you can always get the info in the SOAP service URL. They have a lot of documentation you can go through, or do a search in here and say getting error loading WSDL, right? And it should bring something related to this, or loading something else. And all this reference to the WSDLC, I mean, and it tells how to do that reference. It also, this helps is always there, but the bottom line is you want to know like how to use it, what is WSDL, WSDL, and then SOAP, what is SOAP, how to send a request and get a response and verify the response. That's one part. So we know how to see an error. So number of, as I mentioned, this error may not be the same error you get in real work. So you want to make sure what is the error, copy this error, paste it on the Google and see if what actually returned. If you don't get something, just try to look for the specific error message, saying, okay, Apache exception, and try to just read that, take that and do a Google search, and it should give you something that's relevant, because the work environment and that whatever we are showing you may not be the same. So these are the hints you want to do. So I just did the Google search, and it gives you a bunch of different way of looking into. And see, some people are saying the authentication, you might have not the valid credentials to log in. So if your application is looking for the username and password, or some application may have a certificate that actually authenticate, you have to provide that. So in order to do that, you might have to go to the preference, and you will find it. Let's say HTTP settings. You might have to send, provide some information here, but most likely you will be encountering the proxy setting where you have to, this is so you go to preference and you click on proxy setting, and you might have to provide a username and password here. And if you need to provide the host name, port name, and all this, the development team or the team will provide all this info, so you don't have to worry about any of these things. You just have to ask, what you need. And the another thing is the SSL certificate. Some applications, they might use the key store, so you have to locate where the key store is and provide that info and the password if needed. So the key store is like a certification, like maybe the application you'll be working on, it has some type of certificate that authenticates or saying, okay, this application is valid. Otherwise, you're going to get an error loading the SDL file. So as soon as you are able to get all the operations, that means you are good to go. You can provide all kinds of information here and do your conversion and run your script. Okay, the another part is if you don't get any error. So in here, you see we don't have anything in there, right? Because we got the error message. Another thing you want to make sure, you want to communicate with the development team, because developer is very knowledgeable about SOAP, because they use day-to-day basis. Whenever they develop something, they actually test it out with using SOAP UI or any tools they have available. And so this is a good thing to do. So now we have this Word to document. So let's do the second one. So we have second one to number to Word, right? We are expanding the test steps, number to Word, and this is saying, okay, number to Word. And if I say 5, it's going to say 5, right? And the request and saying basically the simple one. Okay, so far we have done this one. Let's go to the other one, see what is available. The other WSDL, see if we can actually do something. Try this one for you also. All right, so let's create a new project, and project 2, and provide that URL, the WSDL file, and then click on OK. If we don't get an error, we are good. So this one has a lot more thing in there, right? Operations. So you have a project and you have a test case. These are operations. Then you can create a test case out of it, right? So the first one is capital city, and you have the request you can send. Then countries, all the requests you can send it from here. And run it. You can provide all this into a data-driven, using a data-driven framework and many more. So let's do a one request. So let's say USA, right? Let's see what happens. If I say USA, it's saying what is the response? Came back. I don't see anything came. Okay, so currencies using. Okay, don't say anything. If I don't say anything, what it comes? Nothing. Let's say invalid data. Countries using currency results. Not getting any response here. Countries using currency. Let's close all of this. Okay, list of country by code. Click on this, and okay, so we get this all the countries, list of countries available by code, and this one is the list of country by name. We get the list of countries by name, so we can, so we have to take one of the by code. So if we go to our other request, so kind of we have to get the name by, and then use them here. Are you guys with me? I mean, you guys are doing the same thing? Got the idea of how actually we are doing it here? So this is the basic of the free version of SOAP UI, right? And all you have to do, like, send just XML and send a request, and the service is going to provide the response back. That's the whole idea of web service testing. But you don't need to know a lot of, but you can, if you want to enhance your knowledge in these tools, build a framework, you can always do that by using a language that you prefer, for example, Java, and develop the whole request and response using a GET post, and you can submit the request. So you can do the whole thing using a programming language as well, but that's going to take like a whole different subject. But for this QA engineering course, I think you need the basic of like how to use the tools and how to send a request, and what is the WSDL, what is the HTTP protocol, what is REST protocol, SOAP protocol. Those are the main things you need to know. And who is not clear as of now? If you are not clear about this, let me know, because I want to install the other version, so you get the pro version flavor as well. You can do using something called Appium, and what it does, it allows you to do the API testing as well. It's a similar way of doing, but it's more of a REST protocol. REST don't use the XML. Sometimes it uses XML, but it also does the sending request by using a URL. Any question as of now? Anything is confusing? Please let me know. Okay, good. So I hope you all have the this one, right? This is just the basic of. So the way you do it, okay, let's say if we go to our project, right, and we can add more WSDL, add the import the existing test we created. Let's say your developer is giving you some XML file and ask you to test on this on your environment. So they are in the development environment, you are in the testing environment, and they send you the XML file. So you have to kind of use it. So all you have to do, import it from the other tests, like wherever the location, or test suite or test cases. Just click on that, and it should you should be able to locate where is the test of the XML file they sent to you. So wherever it is, if it's in a desktop or if it's in a shared drive, you just click on it and should load like this same way. It's gonna load the entire test in here. All you have to do is just click on the project and run it, and it should run the entire test. So let's try one more free, see if we actually can find for you. For your practice, what you will be doing is sample, user sample WSDL for Google, right? I think Google has something. Web service example. Trying to see if there are some other. Okay, it also tells you how to do a sample test on Google Map projects. It has a step-by-step. You can practice on that too. I'm trying to locate the WSDL. So I can find it for the map. Okay, I think I found it. Okay, here. Okay. Let me see if that one works. I'm just gonna try it. If that works, then create new soap and just give it a URL. AdWords. Okay, click on it. Visual exception, internal schema. Okay, there is a problem with the schema, so something is wrong with that. So it didn't work. Probably, I think. Let's try something else if it's available. Okay, yeah, I think this one has some you can find probably. So the way you know what is the wisdom is you can a tutorial point they have it also. So you can use one. Copy this one. You see, it's ending with WSDL, so you know this is a wisdom file, right? So let's use this. Also, this one is not correct. Not sure why it's down, but the two I gave it to you. Use those for practice, and we can use more on also later. Okay, so let's go back to the other project, other Set everything. Okay. What we are doing, we went to the let's see. Okay, so now we will try to install the Pro, and I'll show you. I think you get a 14 days, so make sure you practice whatever you can. If you uninstall it, it won't allow you to do this in the same machine, so you kind of have to do it in a different machine or virtual machine. I'm just going to put some info. So do the same thing. Don't put a company and trial, and then as soon as you do that, you should be getting an email. Thank you for downloading, and they send you license. They will be sending a trial license for 14 days, and the reason why we are doing this web service, brief of this, because it's going to be on your resume saying you have done some web services. So I want you all to practice the tool and go through the SmartBear, SOAP UI, and try to practice as much as you can, because the most of the things you will be able to find how to create those. They have their own video, because this company actually provides a lot of information about learning the tools itself. So I'm just showing you the how to actually do the learning part of this. It's not in 1 day or 2 days. Not enough for us to go through the entire process and build a framework and go through everything. But for you, make sure you understand the process of the web service testing, and you can actually at least say, if the interviewer asks you, okay, what did you do on the web service? How did you develop a web service testing? So you can at least tell, okay, we developed using a SOAP UI by SmartBear, and we had the WSDL file where we created a test suite, and under the test suite we created a test cases and multiple test cases using the tools available, and then we created a XML request, and then response came. Also, you can provide all this authentication part, and that's what they want to hear. They want to hear like you use WSDL SDL URL to get all the operations. So my ready, this is called Ready API, is the pro version of SOAP. So SOAP Pro, it's called SOAP Pro, and something you can do once you have it downloaded, you should have 2.4 version. I think this is the latest version, and you guys are able to download the Pro version. Tasneem, Selena, Hafiz, Johar. speak up if you don't understand anything. I mean, any of this that I'm showing you. I'm also going to, add more link to for learning purpose in this document. So go through this whole document. It gives you enough understand information about like what is actually SOAP UI and how to test the any web service if you okay good. And the document that I was showing you here, it should give you all the information that you need to know. So you guys know I just want to show you some XML part. Let's say, this is my XML, right? So I'm just going to go to my desktop and let's say I created a text file, right? And this is my text file. Where is it? Here. Okay. So the text file, I'm just renaming it sample XML. And I'm just going to open that XML. It has nothing. I'm just pasting these parts. Okay. First date, license, and date of birth, and driver training, and providing self training, any training, right? So now this is a Word text document. If I save these, the way you create an XML file is, right? Select all files, and here all you have to do is sample, let's say sample XML, but the extension has to be XML. I think some of you already know. And just click on save, and you will see the document. This is the text document here, and this is the XML. This is how XML document is going to look. This is the text I provided in the XML document. If you right click, double click on that, it will open it in a browser. See that browser sign on the XML, and it shows the date. That's how you create XML. So simple, any notepad or notepad plus plus, you can provide all this. Like, remember, you guys already remember we create something called the environment variable and created some tag, opening tag and ending tag. XML is all about tags, like HTML. I think I have another example here to go. SOAP envelope. So let's copy this one and save it. Try this. Maybe I'm just gonna take this out and save it. Let's open up in the one document. All right, so let's see how is the installation. Okay, Ready API is already installed right here. So double click on it. Oh no, this is not Ready API. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to have Ready API already. Let me take control. Just follow the whenever you install something you're not sure, just follow the simple step and go through that. That's the basic of installing any program in this system. It's not there. So I have the SOAP UI. I don't see the Ready API yet. Okay, you guys downloaded already? Uh, Download. Let me see if I have downloaded already. So if you go to the download folder, you should be okay here. Uh, Omid, you have it. I see Selena is doing it. Tasneem, Orkia, Mohammed. Okay, who else don't have? Johar? Johar, are you there? I haven't heard of you. Shawan? I think it's on. Okay, that's fine. Okay, Swan has already completed his installation. Where did my Ready API go?
I have the same issues that you're having. It shows I downloaded, but it's not showing anywhere.
Okay, I see it. Okay, let me.
It shows that I
Let
have
me.
installed it twice, but I don't see it.
Do you see that on your the control panel that it's download installed?
Yeah, when I go to the download folder, I see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's there.
Okay, the download folder is already it's fine, but it has to install, and you should be able to see. It should give us some steps to go through. So in my case, it
That's
didn't. Maybe I had it in the
that's
past.
it didn't do it to me either, and that's why I was wondering. So I tried to
Okay,
download it again. So second time it did the same thing.
okay.
It even asked.
Who can anyone else having the same issue? Hafiz saying he's working on it, and okay, installation done for Sman. Uh, okay, let me see if it's running on the task manager or not. So you right mouse click and go to the task manager. Be able to process. Hmm. Tasneem is getting the same issue. So let me do it run as the admin. See if that's something. Okay, I guess it's saying the wizard will guide through the rest of the steps. It's pretty much the same steps we did for the pre version, and also it should send you an email with the license. That's the pro version. That's the the trial version license for 14 days or something. Okay, yeah, but in my case, I think I had it before. That's why it's not giving me. But I'm not sure who actually seen the installation process and went through already. Altayab, were you able to install? Can you share your screen? Who can speak and show the screen? And so we all can see the installation process. For some reason, it's not bringing up. Something is blocking, which I have to look into it. I don't see it. Okay,
I'm done with my installation.
Okay, it asks you the installation process, right? And you were able to do it, right?
Yes, my one already application, it's already pop up.
And it's saying ready API, right?
Right, it shows let's test some APIs. Ready API is integrated suite of API testing tools.
Okay, so I think for some reason did you do the SoapUI 5.4, the other version, free version?
Yes.
You did the you did the other one and the pro one, so both you have, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, not sure why it's not showing in my machine, and I think something is. I had it before, so I'm thinking that might be caused. But for Tasneem and Celine, I don't know why. Also, Altayab, I'm gonna make you a presenter. See if we can go through it from your machine and able to see it. Okay, I'm making you a presenter. So share your screen and follow the steps. Yes, you are a presenter, and just click on that. Tayab, I'm not seeing your screen. Can you click on share screen and you should be able to. This other name. Also, you have two names here. Okay, make a presenter. All right. Okay, got it. You're doing it for pro version, right? Yeah, good. Just put anything. Yeah. Let me share another company, another tool. So I'm gonna share. You guys want to practice also while you are, doing something else. The tools is called Catalon Studio, and it has the Selenium. No, you keep on sharing your screen. It's fine. It's gone. Yeah. Okay. So I see that. Okay, I know why it asks you full installation. Yeah. Go through the same step. Yeah. Just next test. Yeah. So basically, yeah, I guess for those of us who has problem, I think we have to remove the free version. I think from the control panel, and then going to the all the program files and remove all existing one and all the basically clean up the machine and then retry again and follow the same step. Okay. So you can start the create, just go to the file and start from the scratch and use the same visual files. You'll see the difference. You'll see much more user friendly. Yes, skip it And yeah, there is a test project in there. Number conversion. They gave you the test project to test. You just expand this. So you have a test project and test suite. You see that thing, it actually explains what is the test. It's much more cleaner here. So test suite and test cases, if you expand test cases, I think you did it already. Or is it coming from your old the other one? Okay, now click on that number to dollar or dollar to number. Yeah, that step. No, the other one. Yeah. So here it's like you can provide all this in a field instead of the XML. You can also see the XML part. See. So look at all these XML, raw data, outline, and overview. Look at all these. You'll see the difference too. That's okay. Restart Tasneem. Can you click on the XML on the request? So it's like it's the same XML. We had a free version. So in the pro version, what is different? It has a form. You don't have to use the XML. You can use just directly the form and do the same thing. And it's much more. It's gonna look like a GUI. You're putting a number and you're just executing it. So you can create a more test steps into one test case, and then all you have to do, click on the test suite and click run. And also you can do this. Yeah. So try the other test WSDL file that I sent you. So it works for you. So another thing you want to know, like on the top where it said number to word, there is a URL here, right? And URL is saying it's saying this is called endpoint. This is where the data is going. Remember you asked me the service, which service is going? This is where it's sending the request to get the response back. And you can plug in the assertion. So go back to your request. Response, whatever the response, right mouse click on the $53 on the right response, on the response. Yeah. See the add assertion? Yes. So you can put like, however you want it for content, for existing, and let's say put it for first one content and then 53. So you are comparing if whatever the request you're sending, you should be getting 50. If you don't get 50, it's gonna fail. So you can add a data table, do all kinds of available thing is in there. And if you select content from, like if you select this, you can get the data from other property and yeah, all this. So leave it as it is for now, but you can get it from the Excel spreadsheet. All the data can become saved. Click on save. No, click on save. Yeah. This is something, now you can run it. You see on the lower, all the way bottom, it says assertion 1. So you have a 1 assertion in there, right? See, it's saying pass. So run it with a different value, see if it's fail or not. So, see? So this is what, now run it again with the 63, you'll see the result. Yeah, right? So you can add more and more onto it and more test cases into the project. This is how you do it. So spend more time on this. Try to understand the whole thing. The basic idea is the WSDL and sending a request and response and creating a project, adding more test cases into test suite, and then test scenario to the test cases. The test scenario and the test case are same, but the steps are as many steps as you want. So you have a $2 number, you can change it to different value and try practicing those. Okay, Tasneem, you want to share your screen, try to see why you're not getting it? So Althea, I mean, all of you, try to add more test scenario to each one of them, and multiple test scenario, add assertion to it, and with a different value, test it out. And also, I will try to share more WSDL file with you all, so you can test it this one. And you, Althea, you can try add and create another project using the other WSDL file, I think. Yeah, she I think restarted her computer. Create another project with the other WSDL. Just leave it as the default. Get the create a test case here. Okay, yeah, you're getting it. And now expand. Okay, now click on the request. Mm-hmm. No, you're creating a REST project. So REST, we want to do a SOAP. This is a SOAP. We're doing a SOAP. REST, you have to get a different WSDL URL. So just right click on the file, go to the file, and file new, not load test, new project, and it's the same thing it's asking. Okay, here, yeah. So WSDL, the first one, right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah. You see all the operations already listed in the. As soon as you click on it and click OK, you can rename all these. Okay. So now you have all the operations. These are all operations, and you can run, put. So what's the language name? Put a language name in there, like English maybe. I don't know. Okay. List of country by name. It has nothing, but it just sends. You can click on play all, and then it should give you everything. Capital city, give a name. Capital city. I don't think. Okay, so it's that's not a valid capital city. Cannot found in the database. So I think give a like Albany. Yeah, London. So we need to have a, we need to know the correct data in order to pass this. If we don't know the correct data, then that's when we get an error or country not found in the database. Country, okay, put a country name here. Country flag. It's a flag name, I think. Oh, okay. Can you try this WSDL file as well? This is a currency exchange, I think. See if it creates anything. This is probably a better example. Convert history value, convert real-time value. Just put whatever you have available. Don't have to provide. So yeah. On to symbol is amount 0, exchange rate 0. It looks like you got an idea. You can just, these are all operations you can do. Yeah. Unity. Yeah, I think the one with the currency converter you tried. Selena, were you able to do that?
I uninstalled the other ones and then I'm trying to reinstall it again. Finally got the email from them and it says if you are having issues with it, then click on this link. So I'm trying it again.
So if anyone wants to, it's just a simple default process. You just click on next, and then should install, and then do the same thing we did with the free version. So the difference is the pro version has a lot more. You can provide the assertion. You can do a loop. So I'll tell you, if you right mouse click on the test case or test suite, I think you can provide a loop and provide a data sheet, all kinds of information with the right mouse click on one of the test cases, and you can do a multiple loop statement and also get a data table. So if you say insert, click on insert step, and so see the data source. You can get a data source from the either Excel or database, whatever you want, and click OK. Create a database loop, yes, and then Yeah, click OK. So what it did, it asked you from the data source. See on the top, see the data source. Click on that, and say, let's say Excel file, right? Click on Excel, and then add a Excel with a different value in there. So create an Excel file, and then if you want to loop it like 100 times with different data, it will do the looping for you for 100 times. So these are the advantages you can do with the Pro version, and the support is always there with the the SmartBear. They always help with any issue. So I think Altayab get the idea. Tasneem, you tried to install it, still did not work. You want to share your screen, Tasneem or Selena? And I'll share some, the useful link for the practice if you go for it, and you'll get more idea by end of this. Selena, you are the presenter now. So, okay, you have the executable file on the lower left corner. It's already downloaded, and
And this is what kept happening. So it goes away and then nothing happens. It never installs.
So it looks like we all are having the same issue. Not sure if something else is actually giving you that error, because the problem is this tool you can only install once with the free license and use it for 14 days. So if you want to try it, you have to do it in a virtual machine or different machine. And in my case, I'm also getting the same thing. Can you go to your control panel? Just type control panel, control. And click on the date, installation date. So okay, you have only the SmartBear free version. You don't have the other one. Okay, can you go to the SoapUI Pro version? The site. No, this one is fine. This has nothing to do with the other one, other installation. You can minimize this. And okay, so if your trial version is not activated, click here, download automatically. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look into it and I'll give you feedback out of why it did not. So those of you who don't have this one, I will look for it. I think maybe Windows 10 is the problem, or not sure at this moment. Okay, yeah, you should be able to do it. I mean, if you never had it before. Installation error. You see that error file? Can you right mouse click on the error, installation error? Yeah, I mean, open it with the Notepad, Notepad++. Illegal state activity. The outer element does not return value. And okay, even if you remove everything, it did not work for you. Runtime error. What version of Java you have? Do you know, Selena, what
I'm
version
not
of Java you
sure.
have? Okay, can you open your control, just type CMD and type Java version. And type Java hyphen version dash version VER. No. I mean Java, yeah, Java version. Okay, after Java, put a space. You put a right arrow key. Click on press the right up arrow, arrow up. Yeah. Put a space. Go a little bit after Java. Put a space. Just remove this and type Java. Put everything lowercase. It's not a problem. Java space space and then hyphen. Oh, dash. Before version, put a dash. Yeah. Version. I have 161. So you have 71. You have the latest 18. I have 61. So Java is not a problem. Same. Okay. All right. So I think three of us actually having a problem. Anyone else having a problem with installation of Pro version? And can you double click API 64? This is a 64-bit. Your machine is 64-bit, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, double click again. See why. Try it again one more time. It gave us another error message, right? Yeah, I see that. Okay, can you open the second install error? Yeah, this one. Yeah, open that file. And our language section, no class default error. Okay, would you be able to copy that line where it says caused by Java lang after from the Java? Yeah, copy that line. and paste it on the just on the URL and see what actually help we have. These are troubleshooting you can actually always do, and paste it here. Yeah, hit enter. Session thread main Java line not class. Yeah, first one. Click on the first one. Or okay, exception thread main Java and time. So install 4J. This is the one we have to extract. So we didn't get the zip file, did we? That was the like
No,
file.
there was no zip. Yeah, there was no zip file.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I will have to do it, fix it myself, and then I'll let you know. But in the meantime, try with the free version. Try to copy another test and do practice on that, and read through all these documents and go through the SmartBear tutorial link that I have it on the document. Practice it, and you should be get an idea of web service, because the main idea of the testing is the same. It's just the different tools and different way of testing. So web service is the testing, sending a request and getting a response back. You don't have to know a lot unless you want to be specialize yourself into a web service, which you can. I mean, once you actually spend more time on it and do the research and go through this. I'll send you the useful tutorial link and all the resources out there, and try to view those, read through this. The main idea to understand what it is and how to do it. That's the main thing. And I think that's it.
Thank you.
Okay,
sorry? Thank you.
Okay. Any question? Any other question you have? You want me to go over, or because in the bootcamp we will go over all this once again before you go for interview or anything. Althea, do you have a number? I need to talk to you about something. Do you have a number? You want to paste it here? I have some stuff I need to share with you. Yeah, I'm going to call you like after this session, which we are ending now. And so everyone, I guess put it on the Hangout or email me with any question you might have. Anything is not clear, go to that document that I put it on the drive, and make sure you go through it. I will add more stuff to it, and that way you have it. All right, everyone. Thank you. Take care.